Okay, Currumbara. Let's have a look at what we've got now. We've got our system up here. The audio is coming in being smoothed. It's affecting the noise here and the shape of the geo here, which we're rendering out here. And now we've got a background. So I think in this video we're just going to do a couple of things to make it a little bit cooler, because at the moment it's looking pretty a little bit bland, I think. The first thing we could do, at the moment it reacts very quickly, which is good, but it doesn't have a lot of life. So if we go back to, well, I'll show you another trick. This trick here would be you right click on a particular operator and you see view here. So click on view and that gives you a box that you can move around the screen. So that's the end result currently, and what I'd like to do is make it change a little bit. Here in our maths, actually I'll move it over here a bit, which means that we can keep the parameters here. Here in our maths, I've changed it. I went to multi-add and we had 7.38 in the last video, somewhere around there. I went to range and I changed from 0 to 1 being 0 to 1 to 0 to 1 being 0 to 2, and that's made it a little bit bigger. I could make it to 5 and that should make it jump even more. So that's cool. We've got a bit more action there, but I want it to move in a bit more of a bouncy manner. So I will right click on our connecting line here, put insert operator, and we're going to put a lag in. So you can see it's going into the lag and through. Now in the lag, can you see that it's smoothed things out a bit? It's not reacting quite so quickly, but it's got a nicer feel to it, and it also bounces back a little bit more. So I could make the lag a tiny bit more. This is the initial lag. This is slowing down how quickly it reacts. So it's seeming a little bit more human now. But I quite like overshoot because this makes it still react after you've said something. Takes a bit more time for it to go back to its natural state. So when you talk, it reacts a bit more and then takes its time to slow down and return. I might go back to 0.2 there and put a 0.2 here as well. So now it's moving around a little bit more, reacting like it's got its own personality a bit more. Okay, so the next thing I think we could do is take a look at what's happening with our ramp down here. So with our ramp, it's all just a bit bright at the moment for me. A bit bright, a bit nice. So I'd probably go for something a little darker and maybe even put a bit more of an interesting shade on it there. Now the other thing we can do is down here in type, this is a horizontal ramp. We could make it vertical, which would flip it. I tend to prefer vertical ramps, or we could even go circular, and that's kind of cool too. But let's go for a vertical, and moving these sliders around will change the background there, and we can create a little bit of a 3D effect, kind of an infinity effect, by having a horizon looking situation there. Even dulling that down a little makes our sphere pop a little bit. And let's change the color around. So I've gone back to my Phong here, and I'm playing with the color. So I could even, what could I do there? What's going to look good? That's kind of interesting. I could even, actually, what if I made it black? And what if I made it black and shiny? And then we could even put a little, just a tiny bit of ambient light on there maybe. Let's see what the specular does. Yeah, that's going to bring up a bit of a shine. That's kind of nice. Bit of a shiny kind of black blob. Kind of like that. So there's lots of different things you can do design-wise. But let's just go away from black. Black's a bit hardcore. Let's go to that color. And I'm going to go back to my ramp and get something like that. So now we've got a pretty nice liquidy looking sphere which is reacting to our voice. And let's leave it there for the moment. I'll see you in the next video.